Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, or whatever the case may be. My name is Marcus, and I am the host of the Black Brazil Today YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog, where I analyze Brazil from the perspective of race. So tonight I wanted to react to a video that I recently came across. Now, from what I can gather, it seems like this interview is not necessarily new, might be from a few years ago, but I just came across it a few days ago. So I definitely want to talk about it. As usual, it touches on a topic that I talk a lot about. So it's something I just wanted to add to the catalog. So today's video is called "Why is it that we Black lesbians only have relationships with white girls?" asks actress Thalita Carauta. All right. So before I even get into today's video, I want to encourage you to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely click on the notification bell so that you know when I put up new videos. And with that said, let's get into the topic of today's video. Okay, so this is actress Thalita Carauta. Um, Really, I don't know much of her work. I'm familiar with her. She's pretty much a comedic actress, although she's had some serious roles as well. Um, I've known about her for a number of years, but as I said, I don't really know a lot about her work. Um, I'm familiar with her catalog, and the little research that I've done, but that's not even a point here. As the point, what I'm focusing on is something that she said in a recent interview. So, just to give this video a little bit more context, the ongoing discussion about what Brazilians call palmitagem. Okay. Palmitagem really came about probably about 10, 11, 12 years ago when many Black women, particularly Black women activists and feminists, were speaking out against how they seem to note that, we'll say well-to-do Black Brazilian men, when it came time for them to choose lifelong partners, get married and have children, raise a family, it always seemed like they chose white women. And it's like, it just seemed, and I know I followed this for years because it just seemed like you just didn't see many Black men who were married to Black women if they were prominent men. They often looked at soccer players, rappers, singers, musicians, actors, actresses. But then you started looking at, the law profession, the medical field, just prominent positions in society, and seems like it was just the rule. If it's a prominent Black man, he's always going to have a white wife. And without even trying to blow it out of proportion, honestly, when I started looking at it, it did seem like somewhere between 95 and 99% of Black men who were part of high society were married to white women, or what they'll call Brazilian white, because again, some people who are considered white in Brazil may not be white in other parts of the world. So the accusation and the term is labeled as palmitagem, the predilection of Black men to choose white women for partners, right? The accusation of palmitagem has always been directed at Black Brazilian men, okay? Black men in Brazil have long countered that Black women equally choose white men, and I've seen quite a bit of that, even though I would say that it's more likely that you'll see a prominent Black woman married to a Black man than the opposite, even though the percentages of marrying white are also very high for prominent Black women. Activists who looked at the situation after years of the accusations against Black men, and people were honest enough to look and say, look, both Black men and women have been indoctrinated with the process of preferring white partners. And I was happy to see, this can't be a one-sided argument, because when I started looking at both sides, I saw the same trend. Then number 5 here, complaints of Black lesbians being passed over for white women. Now that's a big deal. That's something I'm going to have to talk about. I always use past articles that I've posted on the blog that emphasize what the point that I'm making in this video. So it's not that what this actress is saying is new. It's another person who's coming to the realization of what this means, and just facing the truth. This is something that a lot of people have pointed out for a number of years, but the criticism has always been pointed at Black men when it should be just looked at, applied to the Black population as a whole in Brazil. So again, this is actress Thalita Carauta. She is an actress, an author, and a director. Her claims to fame are her performances in comedic roles in theater and television, where she became known for her versatility as an actress. Carauta has won a number of awards for her work. A few of these awards include the Grande Otelo Award, a Brazil Quality Award, and an Extra Television Award. Besides these victories, she has also received nominations for 2 Guarani Film Awards. Now, just to point out, the Grande Otelo Award, named after a black actor who was considered Brazil's greatest actor. The Grande Otelo Awards is something similar to the American Oscars or Academy Awards. Okay. What else we have here? In Brazil's film industry, Thalita earned respect for her roles in O Lobo Atrás da Porta, a movie for which she received the coveted Grande Otelo Award for Best Supporting Actress. Other films for which she has starred or appeared in include SOS Mulheres ao Mar from 2014, Duas de Mim from 2017, you see in this poster here, and O Silêncio da Chuva from 2021. Okay, this is one of her films, Duas de Mim, which means you translate it as two of me. Apparently, she played 2 roles in this film. You see, it's starring Thalita Carauta and Thalita Carauta. So I think she was doing a double role in that movie. I've never seen it before, but this is one of the films in her catalog. In the latter film, she was voted Best Supporting Actress at the BRICS Film Festival. It was for her work in the film 4x100 Correndo por Sonho that she garnered a nomination for Best Actress at the Guarani Award ceremony. That was this film here. It was based on the performance or the behind the scenes of a squad of Brazilian women, track athletes who I think they participated in 2016 Olympics. She was also recognized for appearances in theater. A Favela from 2012 to 2014 was playing across Brazil. And Cinco Vezes Comédia from 2016 to 2018 have added to her resume. Okay. On television, she has shown her versatility in Brazil's popular novellas or soap operas, making her debut in productions such as Páginas da Vida and won over audiences as the fun-loving singer Gorete in the popular Segundo Sol novella from 2018. This is her role in Segunda Chamada. I think she played a math teacher here. In Segunda Chamada 2019, she portrayed the math teacher Eliette, a role in which she also earned critical acclaim. Another role that made her famous was her portrayal of the former adult actress Mauritania in Todas as Flores from 2022. This last role was critical in getting her a leading role in the novella Elas por Elas from 2023, which was actually her first leading role in a novella. This is Thalita Carauta with her son and ex-wife Aline Guimarães. Thalita has spoken openly about her sexuality and says she didn't ever feel the need to come out since everyone in her social circle already knew that she was a lesbian. The actress was once married to screenwriter, again, Aline Guimarães, and seen in this picture here, with whom she had a son, Bento, age 9. She then began dating Tay Ohana. She says, it's important that people open Instagram and see a Black actress, a Black woman and actress, a lesbian with a family. A photo I post with my son says a lot. It's like I'm saying, do you like what I do? Then look, this is who I am. That way I attract more affectionate looks. After all, that's who I am, she said. Okay. So getting into the interview that she did, again, the name of the video, I'm calling this video, Why Is It That We Black Lesbians Only Have Relationships with White Girls? Asks actress Thalita Carauta. This was an interview she recorded with Luana Genon on the Sexta Black talk show. Sexta Black meaning Black Friday. It's a talk show hosted by this woman here, Luana Genon. So right now, what I want to do is I just want to overdub what a small portion of the video. I want to just specifically focus on what she said in this portion of the interview. I think it might be a minute and a half long. So I'm going to just overdub this section here. All the relationships I've had, I've felt love. All the relationships I've had, but that's what I was telling you. It's a complex of mine. So how are your relationships? How are things going? Man, will she want to stay? Will she want to? These are shadows. They came. It's interesting that once I was talking to my girlfriend and she's Black, and she was like, damn, most of my relationships have been with white people. What happens? What happens that we only have relationships with white girls? Or is that the majority, you know? So you don't think you're pretty? So you don't think you're, so that was also a discovery. My ex-woman, she's black. We had a relationship for 8 years, and now I'm in a serious relationship also with a black sister. So it happened that I really fell in love with these women, because even in my imagination, when I thought of a woman a while ago, it wasn't a black woman. It wasn't a black woman. Today, I don't think I want to know anything else. So that she said a lot in that short little clip. I mean, think about some of the things that she said there. She's analyzing what a former girlfriend said. I don't know if she's talking about her current girlfriend or a past girlfriend, but her girlfriend says to her, "Why have most of my relationships been with white people? What happens that we only have relationships with white girls? Is this the majority?" So this points to the question that all the years that the Black women's movement in Brazil have pointed the finger at Black men, saying, you guys have been indoctrinated to prefer white women. When in fact, as other people have later pointed out, like, no, it's not just Black men who've been indoctrinated. Black women, Black Brazilians in general, growing up in a Eurocentric, former slave holding country, have all been indoctrinated to have a preference for white partners. After all, I talk about this in many of my videos. Brazil encouraged Black and brown Brazilians to marry with white partners so that within a few generations, every Black family would eventually just mix themselves out into a beige and white Brazilian population. Okay. So it sounds ridiculous that both Black men and Black women in Brazil have been indoctrinated by racism and white supremacy, but people want to believe that only Black men have been victimized, and indoctrinated into preferring people with white skin when Black women grew up under that same system. How can we believe that it affected one gender and not the other? Okay. She goes into questionings like, okay, do you choose white women because you don't think of yourself as being pretty? Again, this question of Black people wanting to validate themselves by having white partners at their sides. I've done numerous videos and articles about this. What else did she say here that I wanted to point out? She says, even in my imagination, when I thought of a woman a while ago, it wasn't a Black woman. So when it popped in her mind talking about a potential partner, in her imagination, she didn't think of a Black woman, right? She thought of a white woman. She says, today, I don't think I want to know anything else. So the point is, she had to go through another, a self-analysis and maybe another development of her identity. Because it's only been in recent years that this call for Black love, amor preto, they call it in Portuguese, where Black Brazilians are starting to understand that in order for them to survive, they really do need to promote Black couples. It has to go against the grain of what Brazil has always encouraged, mixing with the end goal of making Black and brown people disappear. So it was only through an analysis, she had to step back and look at herself and say, why do we always, even in the lesbian community, even in the LGBT community, why is it that we had this preference for white women, as Black lesbians? So again, it calls into question, how is it that you're just pointing this out about Black men having a preference, not believing that Black women are not affected by the same standards? Okay. So again, palmitagem, this story after story on the blog about this, this is the incredible case of the Black palmiteiro. Palmiteiro being is another term that it just labels Black men who seem to have a preference for white women. Black women have made this accusation for years. Black men will have situationships, friends with benefits with Black women, doesn't want a commitment, but radically changes his mind when a white woman enters his life. All of these stories here, I want to look at, okay, Black Brazilian men and women accuse each other of having white preferences. Being in a interracial relationship is not synonymous with racism being over. You can check out all of these, palmitagem, the discomfort in thinking about race and relationships. All of these articles you can find over at the blackbraziltoday.com blog. Palmitagem is a very big relationship of self-hate. This, again, people have started analyzing it. It was like, even again, when you look at, and I'm going to talk about this when I pull up one of the next articles, but it's a question of why is it that if Black women are the ones raising this question, you would think that Black women in the LGBT community would also want to look up with Black women. But as it turns out, again, looking into the indoctrination process, a lot of Black lesbians were, actually choosing white women themselves. Let me see what else here. The idea is saying that Black women doesn't palmita. She doesn't have a predilection to choose white partners because she's the one being passed over. So the argument goes, well, in order if they want to have serious relationships, they have to open up their choices and marry, consider serious relationships with people of other races. But is that really just a justification just to cover up the fact that maybe black women have a preference for white men as well? This is what all of these articles are all about. We know about the famous case of popular singer Isa. This is her former husband. They got divorced recently, and Isa is actually pregnant now. That's another story. People have argued for years whether this guy should be considered just black, white, or mixed or whatever. Let me see what else we have here. Let me move on to another article. This is Musunzinho. He's the son of a well-known, very well-loved black comedian. He passed away a couple decades ago, Musun, and this was his girlfriend. I don't know who he's with now, but this was a few years ago. Just again, it seems to be the rule. This article is from 2020. Yes, black women too are down with the swirl. Black lesbians reveal frustration of being passed over for white women. So again, my question is, if it's only black men who do this, why is it that you find among black lesbians that they feel like they're being passed over as well? The phrase the black woman is down with the swirl, yes, was said by a lesbian black woman in a commentary on one of the texts written by me about interracial relationships. She said she was tired of being invisible within black feminism, even though she was a black feminist, because she couldn't speak of her being neglected by other black women. Her voice was silenced since the debate about the effect of sexual loneliness of black women centers on heterosexual relationships, clouding the nuances of the problem. Below her comment, several black lesbians agreed with the comment. Okay. So the article is basically saying, look, this is going on among black lesbians as well. Let me see here. I don't want to deny that the loneliness of black women exists. I want to bring out the fact that all genders and sexual identities of black people experience loneliness of affection, care, family quality, etc. The debate and emphasis on the loneliness of lesbian black women needs to be moved to think about why black women pass over other black women to propose interventions that guide changes in this reality and contribute with less heterocentrism to the debate on the loneliness of black people in our community. That is why it is the loneliness of black people and not just the loneliness of black women, because that's been the call. At the same simultaneously that black women have pointed the finger saying black men pass us over for black women, there's been the promotion of the idea that what's called the solidão da mulher negra, which means the problem that black women have in attaining and securing long-term relationships, right? So they're saying, no, it's not just a black woman problem, it's a black people problem. As I said, living under Brazil's particular brand of racism and white supremacy, this type of standard for what type of person you want in a relationship affects both black men and black women, as we can see. This article from 2018, yes, we are all down with the swirl. Now what? They're just questioning the idea. Look, for years, black people have been taught that it's just normal that you should pursue people with white skin and European features, right? The argument that says because of black women are lonely, so they don't have a preference for white men. They open up their doors for white men because black men are passing them up. But that doesn't necessarily prove that black women are not as indoctrinated as black men. As I said, they came under the same system. This is the famous The Redemption of Ham photo from 1895 that depicts the Brazilian elite's dream of a white Brazil, going from the dark-skinned black mother to the white or off-white child within a few generations. Okay. Why do black women blame black men for wanting white women when they too worship white men? We as black people have all been conditioned. Now, let me see if I can find the article. Okay, this is the one that I wanted to show you. In the last decade or so, I saw a number of famous black women lesbians in Brazil. Some of them who have been thought to be heterosexual for years, but then came out as lesbians. And then you saw them with white or something close to white women. These are all just famous black women that a lot of people are going to know who they are. Actress Camila Pitanga here, the former city councilwoman Marielle Franco, who was murdered back in 2018 in a famous execution style murder that shocked the world. the two twin singers, I think they're Pepe and Nene, both of them got with white girls in their relationships. This is a popular YouTuber, very famous religious leader, and a popular singer, Sandra Desai. All of them, when they came out as lesbians, all of them seemed to be in relationships with white women. So again, where does the accusation really belong to say that, people are palmitagem or palmiteiros? Because it seems to me, and this is what this woman is saying in today's video, why do we have this preference for people with white skin? And it's something that you have to face. I did a video a couple of weeks ago where a YouTuber in Brazil was asking that same question. There's no sense in calling for Black love until we can flush this adoration of white skin out of our systems, basically what she was saying. So anyway, that's why I wanted to post this video today, because we have yet another Black Brazilian who's talking about this inner adoration of whiteness that a lot of Black Brazilians seem to have. So just wanted to share that video today. What did you think about this video? Definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Like this video, share this video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Click on the notification bell so you'll know when I put up another video. And with that said, I'm going to end this video here. Request that you all come back. Check out the next video that I post.